just looking into your eyes could set me aflame, both through my own view and yet nowhere near the same. I remember the first time I felt ashamed of my body. It was the smallest and simplest of thoughts, but it stayed in my mind and soon started to spread like weeds taking over. A constant barrier between what I saw and what was really there. Growing up, my mother would tell me I looked hermosa, beautiful, but it was only when you argued with me about it that I started to believe it too. I don't constantly check my reflection anymore. Thank you. Everyone knows nostalgia is a dirty liar who makes everything seem better than what it was, and I wish so badly that was the case, but I can still remember how you would recreate each of my flaws. My height, you said, makes me cute. My thighs are apparently perfect for warming hands, and my inadequate cup size. Well, you more or less showed me why you liked them. You would say the stupidest things, just to make me feel better. Growing up, I felt that I had to cover my whole body, even on the hottest days of summer. And yet, I never felt any shame when it was you. When it was us making a connection. Lately, I'm getting better at looking at myself naked and not counting every imperfection. In grade 9, I ate too little, and in grade 10, I ate too much. Both years, I absolutely hated my body, and whether I was running until I couldn't breathe or eating until my stomach ached, it was all to hurt myself. I lost a lot of friends in between all of that, and yet you stuck by me. I know it must have been hard because that's what everyone else told me. Growing up in a mixed house, I never really knew where I belonged. Sometimes when we were together, it felt like my home was your arms, a sense of safety and warmth, like you would protect me from all harms. Ever since that stained night, nothing has been the same, but with you, everything was okay. From the beginning, you were an exception to any and all rules. When you found out what had happened, you took me on a walk. Made me feel as though maybe I hadn't been dirtied. And after they found out, you were always there for me, even if I was always covering your neck in tears and snot. And now that I think about it, I don't think I ever thanked you for everything. You may never know how much you saved me. Growing up, when I tried to tell people I didn't think I ever loved myself, they'd get angry. When I told you about my feelings, I cried into your lap only to look to you in the same state above. I hate hurting those important to me, but it seems it's all I'm capable of. That day, I was on the verge of an anxiety attack for a good 40 minutes. Everyone agreed it was for the best, but I couldn't stop the tears as I told you it hurt too much to stay by your side. I'm so sorry for being selfish, but I wanted to try putting myself first for a change. Growing up with a dark cloud, I would prefer to stay in bed all day, every day, never wanting to leave my safe place. When we separated, I went through a whole different kind of pain, one I just didn't know how to deal with, as though my heart had caved in on itself. But I could never regret meeting you, being friends with you, and falling for you, because as I fell out of love with you, I started learning how to love myself. Now every morning, I make it my mission to not only find happiness, but to create it. And instead of taking my anger out on the only body I have, I take it out on a bag filled with sand. And when my sadness feels like a tidal wave set on drowning me, I go to my friends for air. I'm learning about balance, about how to take control, but also how to accept help from others. Growing up, I never knew what I wanted to do. And even though I'm not who I could be, I'm not who I used to be. And that's all that matters. Even little by little, I'm moving forward because I can remember being 14 and not wanting to live past 18. And now I can finally say, I can't wait to see where life will take me in 10, even 20 years, and I couldn't be more proud of myself.